You're live, sir.
Come Are you ready to rock and roll? Questions? Barna, online, any questions?
No questions online as of this time, sir.
No sweat. What do you want to go over?
It's something like proving that the things that are happening now is what the Bible has always talked about, us being like an oppression, us being borrowers of other nations, us lending to them, but they will not lend to us, things like that. Basically, what I'm talking about is some of the curses that's in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, proving that the Bible is true because this is what's happening to us right exactly now. And about the bomb threat is one thing that
Get the story for the bomb threat. Go there first.
come on, Kyle.
Story. Read the story about what happened in the bomb over the weekend. There was a scare,
Kyle.
not an actual event, but the police stumbled upon something. Let's find out what it was.
I got it, sir.
Read.
It says Baltimore officials say suspicious van.
You gotta go loud. Where's the mic at? Testing 1, 2. Testing. Turn it up a little bit. Testing 1, 2. Turn it up. Testing 1, 2. More volume. There you go. Where's your mic at?
Right here, sir.
Go ahead.
Testing, 1,
Read
2.
the story.
Come on, Kyle, sir. It says Baltimore officials say suspicious van was stealing diesel fuel, not a bomb, after evacuating parts of Inner Harbor.
Okay, I don't believe that for a minute. They found a van with 1,000 gallons of diesel fuel in the van, not in the gas tank, but in the van. Read on.
And this is from Baltimore WJZ. After evacuating part of downtown Baltimore and an hours-long investigation, police now believe that the suspicious van was leaking gas in a parking garage near the inner harbor, was being used to steal diesel fuel, and was not as hazardous as initially believed.
Okay, so somebody's funneling off diesel fuel from somewhere and storing it in this van, and it started leaking. Go ahead.
It says police are continuing to do precautionary sweeps of buildings and parking lot garages in the area.
You understand? You know they gotta go out for the big bang. They know who's been doing it anyway. You understand? This is what we have to know. Give me Amos 3 and 6. Give me Amos 3 and 6. Start at verse 4. Read that when you get it.
Amos 3 and 4. Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey?
Okay. You understand? What are you expecting to hear? You understand? What are you expecting to happen if there's a lion in the forest and there ain't no other animals in there for him to eat? Are you expecting for the lion to roar? Consider our condition. You understand? There is a lion and we are the prey. Keep going.
Come on, cut. Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing?
You understand? Like, no result would be incurred if there was no food that he killed, you understand, in order to tell everybody, I got my dinner. You understand? I'm a big bad lion and I got my dinner, and don't let nobody come over here messing with my dinner time. That's what the lions cry out about once they got their prey. Keep going.
Amos 3 and 5. Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him?
Where there is nobody to trap a bird, then he ain't gonna get caught. Keep going.
Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have nothing at all?
You understand? If you lay down a trap, then you're going to catch something, right? When you lay down a trap, the chances are, if that trap was solidly engineered, it'll produce a catch for you, whatever it is that you were trying to trap. Go ahead.
Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
You better watch out. You understand? Because terrorists will take hold of the so-called white man. They just they do for another terrorism event that's going to be mind-blowing. You understand? Minus World War III, the beginning of that. You understand? You might as well call what's going to happen. Probably will be the prelude to World War III. Keep going.
Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?
Understand? The Lord is showing you about what's going on in these cities right up under your eyes. You understand? It's things that's going on that you have no clue about. You understand? Do you have water services? Are you still able to pay your water bill right now because the hackers took over the city computers? You understand? You might not know exactly what's going on in this city, but there's a lot of docks in Baltimore. You understand? There's a lot of things going on that you need to be stay on being in safety with the prophets. You understand? The spirit of the prophet, the things that you're going to need to know are going to be revealed by prophets in that day. All right? Any more of that? Keep going.
Verse 7, Amos 3 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants,
Keep going.
the prophets.
No wonder I couldn't remember. It was right there. You got to be in the know. You understand? You got to be in the know. You understand? of what to be on the lookout for out here in these streets or what have you. Rolling with the men of the Most High, you understand? Through their travels or what have you, they'll put you on game, okay? So give me Proverbs 16:4. Proverbs 16:4. Start at verse number 16:1.
Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man.
The preparation of the mind of man. You understand? Why man thinks about the things he does. You understand? When does it come to him? You understand? What it is that he's trying to accomplish. All of those things. Read on.
And the answer of the tongue is from the Lord.
But the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. You got things going on in your head, but what the Most High say, what actually gets said. You understand? If you studying the scriptures, you understand it's going to be of the Lord. You understand? You got to study the scriptures. You understand? To show thyself approved, right?
Come on.
If you don't speak according to the word in this Bible, there's no light in you. There ain't no truth in you. You know what I'm saying? You might think a lot of things or what have you, but what you might want a teacher on a topic, you understand, at camp, you understand, or in class, but guess what comes to you? What the word of the Lord, you understand? So keep going.
Proverbs 16:2. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
Everybody think they're doing right or what have you until you understand they get revealed to be a joke. You understand? What you got going on in your brain about how you operate is usually you taking poor counsel. You learning from yourself. You're teaching yourself. You understand? You got a stupid student. You understand? You teaching yourself. You understand? Somebody dumb. Either the teacher dumb or the student dumb. In this case, so you're gonna be the fool in that end. Keep going.
But the Lord weigheth the spirits.
But the Lord is going to weigh the spirit. You understand? He used the prophets. You understand? It's going to lay something heavy on you or reveal something to you about your character that you need to change or what have you. Keep going.
Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy works unto the Lord.
Commit thy works unto the Lord. You understand? Put away all the fallow ground. You know, break that up, put that away. Read that again. That's heavy.
Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy works unto the Lord.
Commit thy works unto the Lord. You understand? What you working for, do it for the Lord. You understand? Do it as unto Christ. Don't be a man pleaser. Don't serve man. You understand? Don't be up in the body, being a busybody. You understand? Eye pleasing. You understand? Always, putting in a good word, so just so that you can be heard and seen in reference to whatever's going on to gain favor or what have you. But do what again?
Commit thy works unto the Lord.
Commit thy works unto the Lord. Be serious about what you're doing as unto the Lord. If you want your rib to do it, then what she got to do? She got to serve you as unto the Lord, right? That's what Sarah did. Keep going.
And thy thoughts shall be established.
And thy thoughts shall be established. Meaning that in the first verse, your mind is all over the place thinking about what you should and should not do in life and what's important and what's not important. But to be established in your thoughts and the processes of your thinking, you understand, commit thy works, you understand, to the Most High. That's what it's saying. Keep going.
Verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself.
The Lord hath made all things for himself. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You understand? He done made all of those. You understand? He know all about all of those. He know when it's going to happen, and when it's not gonna happen. You understand? When it's about to happen. You understand? When you forgot about it. All of that stuff, he remembered. You understand? So if you're not staying on the Lord, you understand, you might fall into some of those snares or those traps or what have you. And we can't, we got to be focused and serving the Lord. Keep going.
Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
You understand? If you want to be absent on that day from the judgment for the wicked, you understand, stay with the Most High. You understand? Because he got them reserved. They might forget all about the evil that they've done or what have you, or they might decide to try to repent, you understand, after they've been evil and wicked all they goddamn life. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, you understand, the Lord will just bring you back. You'll be a baby again and get christened or what have you, and then you'll be no more. You understand? Your head will be getting bust upside a goddamn tree. You understand? For payback for what your people have done in times past. So don't even sweat it. Keep going, or is there any more?
Verse 5. Proverbs 16:5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
We don't want to be proud in mind, you understand? We think we know everything, and we don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Being humble, you understand, in the spirit of the Most High Christ, you understand, walking circumspect is the best way to go about this life, you understand? Because thinking that your intellect is going to carry you through these situations that you will come upon, you understand, that ain't what's going to be there for you in the long run. Your intellect will fail, you understand? Your emotions will fail. You understand? You thinking you can whip everybody's ass will fail. You understand? Because somebody has your card one day. You understand? And then you're going to get wholly embarrassed. So, you understand? Or worse. So, anymore.
Come on, sir. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
You understand? Though hand join in hand. When you join hand with the wicked, you understand? You don't expect to get punished, huh? You don't think that you're gonna pay for celebrating Christmas with the white man. You understand? You don't think you're gonna pay for not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, but following the so-called white man or following your own mind. You understand? About what's right and what's wrong. In that day, you understand? You're gonna understand that you were in error. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 6, Proverbs 16:6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
You understand? Only by the mercy of the Most High, you understand, and the truth of this Bible, you understand, has the iniquity of our sin, you understand, we've been forgiven by the Most High. You understand? Not because we thought we got away with it. You understand? None of that, what have you. So let's skip down to Psalms 91 and verse 5. There's some situations out here. I don't wish them on nobody, but they coming. You understand? I don't want to fit the bill, you understand, for the things that's going to happen to the rejectors of this word. Right? Scoffers. They stay talking shit. You understand? They stay thinking that they right to side with the white man. They think they can hate on a brother. You understand? Because he want to do right. Nah, that's gonna end. Start.
Psalms 91:5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night.
Okay. We shouldn't be afraid of the terror by night. You understand? When the Most High come for you, baby, you understand? What's going on with our brothers down in the Bahamas right now is terrible. You understand? And we are ill prepared, you understand, ill equipped with no leadership in order to, help them in their time of need. You understand? The worst part of it is that they not citizens of America like Puerto Rico is. You understand? Whereas the United States was obligated to help them. The white man being the devil, you understand? Is this YouTube? Oh, it must be YouTube. I got the refrain. The oppressor, you understand? I know I'm in your house and everything, but the oppressor has has you by the balls. The oppressor has you by the balls, and in that day, because we didn't serve the Lord and come together, because we are a nation not desired, and we did not come together. You understand? The terror when it come by night, that was a category 5 storm, brother. You know what I'm saying? The winds was in excess of 200 miles an hour. The place looks like it's leveled completely. You understand? I was wishing that the Lord had sent that mug to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. You understand? And touched Trump. You understand? But he got a bigger and better day reserved for judgment. The wicked are reserved for judgment. You understand? But guess what? Sometimes the Lord comes to our house first. You understand? He comes to our house first. You understand?
Does that go with the scripture that say he shall shift the house of Israel like wheat?
Not so much so on the physical aspect, but on the spiritual aspect. You understand our wickedness as opposed to, you understand, us physically being handled like by him, like he did with that stone. Keep going.
Verse 6. Psalms 91 and 6.
Nor for the arrow that flies by day.
Nor for the arrow that flies by day.
You understand? Boy, you understand? And we just don't get enough of killing each other. You understand? We don't get enough, and the bullets is flying. They had a record-setting a murder weekend in Baltimore again this weekend. In other news, you understand? The stolen diesel fuel is the headline of the day, as opposed to why we still shoot each other when we are the only help that we ever will have. You understand? You got to learn how to forgive your brother, right? Keep going.
Psalm 91 and 6. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
It's some stuff that's right under the surface. You understand? Thank the Lord that the summer is over. You understand? He about to kill some of them bugs, but you understand? The bugs is coming. You understand? You better get that house together. Make sure that you don't have any creatures. That you don't have any creatures that's shore up your house. You understand? The rats is out. They ain't coming in, so you understand? Shore up everything. Get everything to wild up in your zones for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. You understand? Nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. There's a lot of ways to get hurt out here, or what have you. But if you stand with the Lord, you understand, it'll never come near you. Read verse 7.
Psalm 91 and 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand.
You understand? That's what you're going to see if you stand with the Lord. You understand? You're going to see people fall to your left and to your right. You understand? In the worst conditions, you understand, ever on the face of the earth, or what have you. And you better heed the Most High. You understand? He will come for us first. It says that. You understand? He will come and visit us first in that evil that we do, or what have you. You understand? Don't be caught slipping in that day. Keep going.
But it shall not come nigh thee.
You understand? You got to stand with the Lord so it don't come near you. That destruction. I will say of the Lord in verse 2, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler. You understand? We've been hunted. We've been hunted in our streets. and from the noisome pestilence. You understand? Bad meat. You understand? You name it. Bad chicken. You understand? I'm gonna tell you right now. You understand? For you to be acting stupid over chicken, you understand? It must have had crack in the chicken. You understand? We better wake up. We better wake up. Read verse 8.
Verse 8, Psalm 91 and 8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Don't you want to see your oppressor, your slave master? Don't you want to see that trick? You understand? Get repaid. Don't you want to see it with your eyes? You don't want to read about it in the book or what have you. You want to see it and behold the reward of the wicked. You understand? Not that you're supposed to be, constantly contemplating on, you understand, the so-called man of God, or you understand, the man that got all the authority and power on earth. You don't want to deal with him in reference to worrying about whether or not when he's going to get his or not. I got a scripture. I hope I can find that scripture that give you an idea of who you're supposed to be observing in these times. Let me see if I can find it. It's in the Apocrypha. You want to know this one. You want to come in here and be protected. I'll just give you a couple of them. This ain't the two. But it says, the wisdom of Solomon 18 and 9. For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly. You understand? That's our condition if you want to serve the Lord. You understand? You can't even say the truth. They don't want you to say the truth, so you in secret. They want to hire you, and with one consent made in holy law, that the saints should be like partakers of the same good and evil. The Father's now singing out the songs of praise. You understand? That was the time when we put that blood over them doors. You understand? We put them blood over them doors, and we was in the Passover that first night. You understand? When the Lord slew, you understand, the firstborn of all the Egyptians. You understand? We was in there, and we were with one consent together, serving the Lord with that holy law. You understand? That's how we got to operate right now. Baruch 2 and 9 says, wherefore the Lord watched over us for evil, and the Lord hath brought it upon us. For the Lord is righteous in all his works, which he commanded us. You understand? Yet we have not hearkened unto his voice to walk in the commandments of the Lord that he hath set before us. And now, O Lord, the power of Israel that has brought thy people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand and high arm, and with signs and with wonders and with great power, and has gotten thyself a name, has appeared this day. Our Lord, our power, we have sinned, we have done ungodly, we have dealt unrighteously in all thine ordinances. Let thy wrath turn from us, for we are but a few left among the heathen, where thou hast scattered us. You understand? We're supposed to be praying and beseeching the Most High. Okay? Let me see if I can dig this other scripture up. It's so integral about how we're not supposed to stay upon
Salakia, sir.
Kind.
In the report that you had me read from the news,
Okay.
they're using the word nefarious.
They use the word nefarious, but determined that someone was just stealing and they weren't trying to blow up downtown Baltimore.
Okay.
That's all. Give me 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, verse 1. You got that?
Come on, come.
Deep right here.
2nd Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt, and Syria. Gird up yourselves with the cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
The Lord's destruction is near, and it won't be at hand for a minute. Read on, and he's talking about Babylon. You understand? Asia, Egypt, Syria. You understand? Bewail your children and be sorry. You understand? They're gonna die. You understand? They're gonna die the death that we died. You understand? Keep going.
2nd Ezra 16:3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter, and the verse 13 said, "For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith they are punished." You understand? It's high time that they get theirs. You understand? We have been overdue on the punishment that these nations need to receive for the evil that they've done to us. Read that again.
2nd Ezra 16:3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
You can't save yourself in that day when that sword, you understand, is inevitable. It's swinging and chopping for your head and your neck. Keep going.
Verse 4. 2nd Ezra 16:4. A fire is set among you.
Okay, because it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, verse 10, it says, "But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord." You able to do everything that you imagine, just like it said about the Tower of Babel. You understand? So the punishments that you're going to get are going to be according to those imaginations that you have, of how you ruled over us with contempt. Keep going.
And who may quench it? Verse 5.
Who going to quench it? Who going to stop it in the day when it's time for you to get your behind with? Keep going.
2nd Ezra 16:5. Plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away? Verse 6.
Read it again.
2nd Ezra 16:5. Plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away?
You're going to receive some terror and some plagues. You understand? Who's going to drive them away in that day when it's time for you, the bully, to get punched in your nose one time? All right, keep going.
Verse 6. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 6. May any man drive away in hunger, Salakia. May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it had begun to burn.
You ain't gonna be able to stop it in that day. Keep going.
Verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer.
You understand? You can't. What you gonna do after you pull the trigger? You understand? You gonna stop the bullet? Is you Superman? Is you gonna be Superman in that day? We gonna find out. Keep going. Is you gonna be Wonder Woman in that day? Blocking the bullets and everything? We will see. Come on.
Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 8. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
And Lord in that day is going to be the one that you're going to come up against, and he's not going to meet you like a what?
Like a man.
Like a man. He ain't going to meet you like a man, you understand? He's going to be supernatural in that day. When he send Christ and the angels, you understand? It's going to be something that is never, that has been beheld on the face of the planet ever before, or what have you. He ain't going to meet you like a man. And he ain't turning back when he comes. You understand? Did you want to say something, or do you have a question?
These pastors and preachers always talking about these supernatural gifts that they got, that they can heal and all that. That's why Christ went ahead and basically told them how much of a hypocrite they are, because they've been destroying the people like they're doing now. They have no power. That's why they couldn't cast out demons.
His name is Benny Hinn. He claims that prosperity ministry is such an appalling thing after all of these years he's been robbing people or what have you. Okay. So let's get back to it. Why?
Ayanda Verse 11, Salakia. Verse 10. Second Ezra 16 and 10. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid?
Skip down to, keep going.
Kanawaka. Verse 11. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. Verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power.
In that day, you understand? You gonna wish you had understood to only eat the fish with fins and scales in the ocean. You understand? He's going.
Kanawaka. Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss.
The Lord ain't gonna miss in that day. You understand? You think you got RoboCop? You understand? Wait till our big brother comes back. Keep going.
When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
Okay. Plagues are sent and shall not return again. He ain't going to stay the plague, you understand? But they're going to come upon the earth, and they're going to, kill magnificently, like in Revelations 6th chapter, you understand? All those things, the locusts, you understand? All those things, the food ain't going to be worth a dime. All those things in Revelation 6 are going to happen, and you understand, men are going to be dying left and right. Come on.
Verse 15, 2 Ezra 16 and 15. The earth is kindled and shall not be put out.
The earth? The what is
The
kindled?
the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
Yes, it's going to be a world war. It's going to be something terrible that's going on. There's going to be fires, earthquakes, you understand? Storms, you name it, you understand? If you're not with the Lord, it's going to be going on and you in the way. You understand? Keep going.
Kanawankan. Second Esdras 16 and 16. Like as an arrow which is shot out of a mighty archer returneth, not backward. Even so, the plagues that it shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
You understand? You ain't going to be able to stop it in that day once you get started with the punishments. So give me 2nd Ezra 9 and 13. I found what I was looking for.
Kanawankan.
Read that.
Second Esdras 9 and 13. And therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
We shouldn't stay on, you understand, the destruction of the so-called white man, but what rather should we worry about in these times? Keep going.
And when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
Read that again.
But inquire how the righteous shall be
We
saved.
should be trying to find out how we can be saved, you understand, from the destruction, and how the righteous, you understand, meaning that you can be in this truth, and it would seem as though we have no way out, you understand? So you got to be constantly trying to find out how to inquire of the Lord, inquire of your brother, you understand? Not actually trying to save your life by joining the world, you understand? But there are things that you're going to be looking for as far as help is concerned: food, clothing, shelter. Those things you're going to have to look for, or what have you. And only those in righteous situation will even have the time to think about whether or not you should be able to find something to help in a situation. You understand? The other people, that stuff's gonna come upon them, and they ain't even gonna know what hit them. You know what I'm saying? Bahamas, they wouldn't think about no storm or what have you. But it's upon them now, you understand? And they don't know what to do. Keep going.
Kanawankan, sir. It says, who the world is and for whom the world is created.
Yeah, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved. Whose the world is. This is our world. You understand? The world is coming. It's Christ's world that we will be ruling under him in righteous authority. And for whom the world is created. You understand? That John 3:16 breakdown, that's a precept right here. This is that world that it was created, the world that was created, that everlasting world. You understand? That everlasting world with no end, right? Isaiah 45 and 17. That's what we should be worried about. You understand? How we can help one another get through this. You understand? That's the only way we're going to escape. If we come together and love one another, that's it. Okay? Let's find some more. Stay on this thing. Give me Isaiah 29 and 6.
Kanawankan.
Read it when you got it.
Kanawankan, sir. Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise. Salakia, and great noise, with storm and tempest and flames of devouring fire.
We don't understand. We don't understand until it happens to us. Let me give you an idea of why I'm not on Benjamin, you understand, for what they have received. I'm just trying to show you, you understand, what we got that we not being cognizant of, we ain't understanding. Let me see. Give me Ezekiel 9:6. Right? That storm wiped us out. You understand? There are other things that's going to come upon us. You understand? We're not ready. It's going to take us out. Why? Sometimes the Lord starts with us first. You understand? You get Ezekiel 9:6, and then we're going to, of course, go to Luke 13. I think we went over that the other day as well. But in this case, it needs to be said again. Read.
Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children.
You don't have that mark on in your forehead. You understand? You ain't sealed. You understand? In that day, it says what?
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
And begin at my sanctuary. When he starts to do this killing, where he ain't sparing nobody or what have you, sometimes he begins right here amongst Israel. You understand? Come on.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. You understand? So look for many leaders to fall. You understand? Ain't heavy with wickedness that they have been living. And when the Lord comes for them, boy, don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. You understand? So let's go to Luke 13:1. Just so we ain't, we wish that we could help Benjamin as much as possible right now down there. I'm sure that Captain Isupk and the Trinidad crew and the brothers in Jamaica, you understand, the officers and troopers in Jamaica are looking at that situation heavily. You understand, while they're down there putting out the work of the Lord right now. You understand? Anything that they need, I'm sure they will communicate it up so that we can, make these moves to these businesses that's throwing away food every damn day. It needs to get shipped. You understand? We got to put forth our best effort to get them brothers, you understand, out of that peril that they in. Question or
comment?
Go ahead.
I basically haven't heard anything about one of our so-called black leaders that's supposed to be.
I haven't heard anybody that has a mic in front of them.
Exactly.
Like even on talk shows, even on talk shows, you understand, they ain't saying nothing about the Bahamas.
Exactly.
You understand? They ain't saying nothing about the Bahamas right now in Black Radio. They ain't saying nothing because that's because they don't want to lift their goddamn lift up their finger out of their goddamn pocket. They got both of their hands shoved down in their pocket, not trying to give up a dime. You understand? That's how come they ain't open up their mouth. You understand? I heard no pastor say nothing about nothing.
Say.
Come on.
Luke 13:1. There were present at the season some that told of him of the Galatians. Galileans, whose blood Pilate had mingled with their sacrifices.
We read this the other day, and Pilate came and had them put to death. You understand? While they were sacrificing to the Lord, or they may have been sacrificing to the Lord, but they might have been sacrificing to some idol or what have you. Go ahead, but they were Israelites nonetheless. Go ahead.
Luke 13:2. And Jesus said unto them, and Yahushua answering said unto them, suppose that ye Galileans were sinners above
Suppose ye that these Galileans were sinners, read on,
above all Galileans, because they suffered such
you
things.
understand? That these Bohemians was the worst Benjamites, you understand, on the earth, you understand? Do you think that that's the reason that this happened, you understand? Is that the reason that Pilate killed them or what have you? You think it's because they was the worst Benjamites on the planet? You understand? These Bohemians that had that hurricane, that Category 5 hurricane, run over the top of their island or what have you. You think they're the worst of the Benjamites? You understand? Come. Wow. Keep it power. I appreciate it, brother. You know what I'm saying? All right. Keep going.
Cut one con. Luke 13:3. I tell you, nay, but except ye repent.
You understand? He said no. Except ye repent, what?
Ye shall all likewise perish.
You understand? We all got gonna catch a bad one if we don't repent unto the Most High. It ain't just that we didn't deserve to have the goddamn hurricane run up in our house and knock it the hell down. But, you understand? He giving us a little time to figure out that maybe we deserved it. You understand? And that we should repent. You understand? And go and help those brothers. You understand? Go help Benjamin. Go help Benjamin. If you got family down there, we like to hear. Bohemian, whoever is a Bohemian, you understand? Listen to this now, they should be trying to run up into this school. You understand? We done seen this before. You understand? And we're going to repent. You understand? That the Lord do not plague us and stay the plague from out of our house. Okay? Keep that, you know what I'm saying? Send that to the so-called white man. You understand? But we got some evil things that we've been saying and doing that the Lord is not pleased with. And it's your fault that it happened to them. That's the way you got to look at it. It's our fault. It's my fault and it's your fault of why they caught such a bad one and we ain't even able to help. You understand? Can't even open our mouth and express that, you know, you sorry that it's happening to them. You understand? From the leaders especially. It's ridiculous. So let's drop that, you understand? Just keep that in mind. Let's go back to some of the things that the Lord is going to do in that day. They got to catch some of this.
You want to be
Ezekiel the 28th chapter, verse 5. It's a while. No, let's not get that one. Let's get what's Psalm 58 look like?
Okay. Like Psalm 58 and
No, let's not. We have that's going in on Esau.
okay.
Second Ezra 15th chapter. No, we're gonna do that in wrong too. Hold on. You don't want to get the Most High's color. I know that for a fact. He's the wrong one that you want to get on your case. Question or comment? Anything online or in the classroom? What have you? Got some answers for some questions. Anybody got anything they want to go over?
Something that might be prevalent to what you were saying now. Proverbs 24:18.
Let's read that. See what they came up with. Back in the game. Just 1 second.
Let me read it.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 24:18. Lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and turn away his wrath from him.
Read up a couple scriptures.
Kanawankan. Proverbs 24:15. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place.
Okay. Read that again.
Proverbs 24:15. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous.
That's what the so-called white man has done in all of the Caribbean islands. You understand? He done laid wait. You understand? Laid wait and watch for evil. You understand? And what does he do? He gonna run down there and build up all kind of resorts and all kinds of stuff. He gonna basically steal the island from the people. You understand? That's his MO. You understand? Hopefully that's what they was leaning toward. Keep reading.
Kanawankan. Spoil not his resting place.
You understand? They, in a minute, you understand? They're gonna have a ton of white businesses down there that then took over the beaches and took over the land in Grand Bahama and made them his own. You understand? That's how he operates. That's why, you understand, he not making no noise about raising money. When something else happens, they always, let's go to the blood bank, you understand? Let's get donations and send them and everything like that. You're not hearing anything because it's happened to black people. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 6, Proverbs 24:16.
You're gonna come down, run down there and steal up everything now. They in desperation and in desperate need. Go ahead.
For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
You understand? We might catch some bad ones or what have you, but when his mischief comes, when wickedness show itself on him, you understand, in that day, woe be unto him. Destruction gonna be upon him, or what have you. You understand? We catch some bad ones sometimes, what have you. We got to gather together and serve the Lord the more. Every time something happens, we got to come together 10 times more. You understand? So that we can survive these last days coming. Keep going.
Verse 17. Proverbs 24:17. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth.
You understand? The enemy amongst your brother, you understand? You ain't supposed to be super happy when they fall. This is not for the white man, okay? You understand? This is about Luke 19:17. You understand? About suffering not sin upon your neighbor, you understand? And loving your neighbor as thyself, you understand? And not bearing a grudge against your neighbor. something evil happened to your neighbor, you understand? You're supposed to let it go. You ain't supposed to be happy about that, you understand? This does not apply to the so-called white man.
Come on, Con.
Keep going.
Verse 18, Proverbs 24 and 18. Lest the Lord see it and it displease him.
Right. That's why we over here asking for repentance. You understand? Because we know we culpable for the, and should have got smacked in the mouth like our brother Benjamin just did down there in that storm or what have you. He could have easily have sent it right up the coast of Florida or South Carolina and North Carolina and done all the damage there or what have you. And then we would have been weakened. You understand? Then we would need help. Who was going to rise up to help us? You understand? In that situation, if it would have it came and hit one of those three places with some devastating effects or what have you, who was going to come to our aid? Keep going.
Come on, Con. And he turned away his wrath from him.
Okay. We got to pray to the Lord that the wrath be turned away in these times from us. Keep going.
Proverbs 24 and 19. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked.
Don't be envious of the wicked, you understand? And don't fret at how they get away with everything that they doing evil or what have you. You understand? Bear with the Lord for a second. Keep going.
Verse 20. Proverbs 24 and 20. For there shall be no reward to the evil man.
There will be no reward for the evil man. Just rest assured that if they evil and you think that they getting away with it or what have you, rest assured they will not receive a reward for being evil. Their kingdom is not going to go on forever. Their kingdom is going down in flames. Keep going.
The candle of the wicked shall be put out.
You understand? This kingdom is going to end. And the kingdom of heaven is going to be on here on earth. That's what it's going, how it's going down. Right?
Come on.
Any more on that?
21, sir. But that was it on that.
Okay. Give me let's see. Give me let's see what Amos 8 and 8 say.
Come on. Eight.
Go ahead. Read.
Amos 8 and 8. Shall not the land tremble for this? And everyone mourn that dwelleth therein.
The earth is going to tremble. And everybody's going to mourn in that day. Read on.
And it shall rise up wholly as the flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt.
Okay. You understand? But in that day, you understand, even though the Lord is not going to smite the earth with water to destroy the wickedness off of it anymore, you understand? When the flood do come, you understand, you better recognize that this is how he operates. His fire is coming this time. Keep going.
Amos 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day.
Keep going.
Amos 8 and 10. And I will turn your feast into mourning.
Now, this is the real deal. I'll turn your feast into mourning. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of having to argue, you understand, with these back to Africa Negroes. And I saw a picture here recently where some sister, right, she got the carnival garb on, you understand? She bucket naked, you understand? Some feathers, you understand? And everything else is laid out for everybody in the earth to see. You understand? Read that part again.
Amos 8 and 9, Salaki 8 and 10. And I will turn your feast into mourning.
The Caribbean, you understand, needs to get a hold. Everybody that didn't get ran over by the storm, they need to understand this. You understand? The Lord has had enough of your goddamn carnival. You understand? He gonna turn your feast into mourning. That's what he gonna do. You understand? That's what you failed to realize. Why did it happen? And why it should have happened to you is because you think that garbage, you understand, is of some importance, and it is not wickedness or what have you. When it is, you understand, and that's why it keeps happening. You understand that you're not safe from the storm, and you have no way to recover or no resources to rebuild or what have you. You build up, and then 40 years later, you in abject poverty again because the storm then wipes you out, what have you. You understand? Why? Because you won't stop having carnival. That's why you can't figure out how to be sheltered from the storm. You understand? All the islands down there, they know the path to the island. Why didn't you evacuate at least? Why is it there's a possibility of thousands of brothers and sisters that's dead? Thousands of people that might be missing. You understand? Forget the property, but the lives that were lost. You understand? The lives that were lost is because we halted. You understand? We don't understand that wickedness, the Lord be saying, well, you know what, I'm going to get rid of they behind on that wickedness this time. You understand? And every Caribbean island, everybody down there that partake in that garbage or what have you, as if you know, you doing something cultural. You understand? Show me where the goddamn you think you African. Show me where they doing carnival in Africa anywhere. I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? You fooling yourself if you thinking that is how you and your ancestors rode in times past. That ain't how we do. We get down. You understand? Our feasts are going on. We getting ready to do memorial blowing the trumpets on September the 28th. Saturday, September the 28th. You understand? You better observe the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, His high holy days, His feasts, and stop with the foolishness. You understand? You act like you don't understand that what you do with serving carnival comes straight out of the goddamn Christian church. You understand? All that stuff is based on the garbage of Christianity. You understand? And also of the white man's use of you as a goddamn monkey. Okay? He likes to see his monkeys dance. Have you got hit by the Isupk that we in times past were made to dance? You understand? We were brought above ground, above the bottom of that goddamn ship, and made to dance on deck. You understand? For exercise, you understand? And to humiliate and degrade us. You understand? And so now that it's carried over into some pagan festival that you act like is tied to your long lineage of African celebration, you understand? When that crap ain't getting you out from up under the white man. Like, why would you even be wasting your resources, you understand, dancing and having a good time like you do every other goddamn week? That ain't enough. But you gotta mix idolatry in it. You understand? You gotta be an idolater or with it and serve another goddamn God. And now all of a sudden you think, that it ain't your responsibility to look at yourself for who you are and see that the Lord has smitten your brother in the Bahamas because of the wickedness that you won't come up off of. You understand? You look like a world boss now, don't you? You understand? You think it's so damn it's so pretty, it's so good, you understand? You have so much fun. You back to your old tricks, you understand? The earthquake wasn't good enough for you to kill 250,000 of them. That wasn't good enough for you. But you want to join into your wickedness again. You understand? You running down there, compa, and doing this and ain't thinking about the Lord. You understand? Going into every vice and wickedness that's upon the face of the earth. Eating all the crab, shrimp, and lobster. You understand? How could you pick a goddamn lobster, crab, or shrimp, or something like that when you got red snapper? You understand? Right there. All day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Is you kidding me? We just ain't getting the picture. We gonna try to defend that garbage. Anybody want to say something? I got a feeling that somebody is trying to say something. Come on.
That's the like it. From what was said, sir, Psalm 137:3 for they require us of song, they use us as entertainment.
Sure. You understand? So you don't think that the white man is not watching these black bodies gyrate and hump and dunk all up and down the goddamn street? You understand? A goddamn spectacle. You understand? He's thoroughly enjoying watching the footage of you understand, not serve your God. You understand? Moses is up in the mountaintop. You understand? He up in the mountaintop. Yahushua is sitting on the right hand of the Father. You understand? He done went up there to sit next to the Father to get the instructions or what have you. When can I bring this kingdom, Most High, down to the earth? You understand? When can I establish your kingdom right down here on earth? You understand? He beseeching the Lord and questioning the Lord, asking the Lord. You understand? He go back down to check on what we doing, and we in full sport mode. We in full sport mode. Just like how Moses saw us down there, you understand, building a goddamn golden calf to go back to goddamn Egypt. You understand? That's what's wrong with us. You wondering why it keep happening. You understand? Why the Lord keeps smacking you down. He would establish us. You understand? He would establish us with all them islands down there, all them black nations down there, and ain't nobody figured out that we got emergencies where we need to travel amongst each other and make sure that we're out of the way of the storm. You understand? They ain't even working together. When did you hear the call go out that anybody got a Bohemian family or family members or what have you, or who was collecting the funds, whether it be from Jamaica or Trinidad? We always help out those brothers in the Isupk in Trinidad, Jamaica. You understand? We always looking out for brothers and sisters. But these tribes with these leaders ain't getting nothing accomplished.
I heard on radio station today, they were saying, be careful of sending your money to there. And it sounded like a big ploy. They say, don't send your money there because many could be scamming you.
Yeah, they could be scamming, of course. They could be scamming because we ain't organized. You understand? And they are going to get scammed because we not fearing the Most High and listening to his servants, the men of the Lord. You understand? That's the problem. You understand? That's the problem. So now we got to suffer this disrespect. You understand? Everybody looking at us like, ooh. You understand? My goodness. And they can gloat over, you understand, of your suffering and destruction. They can go down there and buy up the land cheap because they've been waiting for something to happen to you so they can just come down there and buy you right up off the land. You understand? That's all. That's all. Okay. Let's get some quick ones. Nahum 1 and 2. Nahum. You got to find the Nahum.
Got it, sir.
Start at verse 1. Let's go with 1 and 1.
Nahum 1 and 1. The burning of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. Yahweh is jealous.
You understand? The Most High Power is jealous. Read on.
And the Lord revengeth.
He revenges. He revenges. You understand? He ain't to be trifled with. He ain't to be played with. He see you serving other gods. You understand? He see you trying to go back to Africa. You understand? Where were the gods that you served in Carnival down there in goddamn Bahamas to stop the goddamn hurricane? That's what I want to know. But I know who is angry with you, you understand, and who would send a storm down there to shake you up and to wake your ass up. I know who would do that. You understand? All of a sudden, these damn gods you got or what have you, they ain't nowhere to be found when something go wrong. You understand? Or they a good God. They so good that, you know. So what happened to their goodness all of a sudden? You understand? They are no gods. That's what the problem is. Keep going.
Nahum 1 and 2. Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries.
The Lord will take his vengeance on his adversaries. You don't want to be found an enemy of the Lord in that day. Keep going.
And he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
He reserveth wrath for the oppressor. You understand? He's going to reserve wrath for the slave master. You understand? In the meantime, you should be seeking safety in the school of the prophets, the Isupk. That's what you should be doing. You should be gathering together as a nation of people. You understand? Practicing some economics amongst one another, some emergency evacuation plans, like the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you had an officer that cared about your people in goddamn Bahamas, you would have an officer or officers in here to direct your people. You understand? Anybody who wanted to be safe, they would have got with that officer in the school that was overcharged in charge of the Bahamas, and they would have been safe and have food and have shelter right now. You understand? But you're gonna be found lacking. You understand? Keep reading.
Nahum 1 and 3. Yahweh is slow to anger.
You understand? The Lord is slow to anger. You understand? Or we all be gone. You understand? We all be gone. So don't get mad when you catch one, you finally catch one. You understand? You done pissed your mother and father off and they just forbade from beating your behind. You understand? Until you get it. One day you done pushed it over the limit and you get it. You understand? And so who's gonna be sad for you in that day? Keep going.
and great in power,
He's slow to anger, but he's great in power. You understand? We don't.
and will not at all acquit the wicked.
He's not going to acquit your enemy. He's going to not acquit your oppressor, your slave master. He ain't, even though he called himself not guilty. You understand? Zechariah 11:5. You know, he know that we ain't serving the Lord, and he count himself not guilty. You understand? But he gonna pay. He gonna pay. He's not gonna be acquitted by the Most High, even though he counted himself as not guilty. Read on.
Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind.
The Lord had his way in the whirlwind, in that storm. Keep going. In that hurricane, in that tornado. Read.
And in the storm,
Keep going.
and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
You understand? This is the Most High's throne. You understand? He don't make the Lord shake the dust off of his feet when he leave your city, because he couldn't. He talked to Abraham. You understand? And he couldn't find 50. He couldn't find 20. He couldn't find 10. Find 10 in the city to save. You understand? Don't be as Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand? You ain't gonna try to tell me that carnival ain't gay. Carnival gay. It's gay as hell. You better stop doing it. That's what you better do. Keep going.
Nahum 1:4. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry.
You understand? Wait till the damn the drought comes. You understand? Wait till the dust bowls in America come again. You understand? The bread basket turned into a dust bowl. It ain't no goddamn food. Read.
And drieth up all the rivers.
You understand? Wait until the white man has done everything that he can to destroy the Amazon and the rivers, the Amazon River dry up. You understand? Wait till that day. He can't leave the goddamn the Amazon alone. Read on.
Bashan languisheth, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon
You
languisheth.
understand? We had beautiful places in Israel that were known for their beauty and their natural gifts. You understand? Read on.
Nahum 1:5. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that dwell therein.
You understand? The world, the earth, and all those that dwell therein. When the Lord get the shaking and moving. You understand? When he put the heat on, you understand, they get hot. You don't want him to get 400 degrees. It's going to be 4 million degrees. That's what it's going to be. Keep going.
Verse 6, Nahum 1:6. Who can stand before his indignation?
You understand? Nobody. Nobody can stand before the Lord's indignation. You understand? It's a lucky that there's anybody left. Read on.
And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
You understand? You in a bad situation if you didn't have to deal with what he bringing. Come on. You think the white, your slave master bad. Keep going.
His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him.
Keep going.
Verse 7, Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble.
In the day of trouble, the Most High is good and a stronghold. Somewhere safe, a refuge. Somewhere where you can get out of the storm. You understand? Somewhere where you can be on high ground when the flood comes. You understand? Or somewhere where it's cool and the flames cannot devour. You understand? Somewhere where you ain't gonna freeze to death. You understand? One goddamn snowstorm, and he can have you in a world of hurt. You had better be right with the Most High. You understand? Come on.
Kanwaka. Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. and he knoweth them that trust in him.
The Most High knows of them that trust in him, right? So we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out fast, okay? We better figure that out fast because we running out of time. We running out of time playing with the Most High, okay? Let me get this character of the Most High. You forgetting that the Most High, he is G.
God.
Well, you don't want to be on his bad side. Any questions or comments online? Check online.
So like you said, 33 minutes.
I can't hear you.
33 minutes.
No sweat. All right. Let's get another quick one. Isaiah 45:7.
Come on, God. Got it, sir.
Read.
Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Most High is the one that's doing all these acts that you see out here, allowing them to happen, and they have manifested these things that you see in the world. You understand, whether good or bad, due to the evil and the sin that has come into the world. You understand? But there's a kingdom that's coming. Okay, we got to recognize that that's how it's going to be until we turn back to the Most High and let the kingdom that's within us be out here on earth. You understand? Amongst your nation of people. All right? So let's go to Psalms 107 and 23. I think that would be like the most heinous occupation in the world. You understand? I don't understand how I could be out on that ocean or what have you. It's so vast. You understand? It's scary. You understand? The things that's down there underneath the water or what have you. Much less being out on the water at dark. You understand? My black ass would have been Jonah for real. You understand? They would have thrown me off. It's like, where did Negro go? Did I tell him to go somewhere else? He on this boat or what have you. That was the wrong thing to do. He should have known better. You know what I'm saying? Trying to escape from the Most High on a boat. You gonna catch hell. Let's read about it.
Come on. Psalms 107 and 23. They that go down to the sea in ships, that do business in great waters.
You understand? The white man, Babylon the Great, is doing great business in waters. Read on.
Verse 24. These see the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep.
You understand? Like, that's an occupation right there, having to be out on that water. You understand? You seeing the stars real clear. You seeing things moving. You know what I'm saying? Below and above you. You know what I'm saying? That's one job. I don't know if I envy that job right there. Being out on that water.
And just like you saying, sir, when they have those shows about being on extreme ships and fishing that crab, that lobster,
Right.
the Most High actually took a ship and brought it down into the sea.
Oh, he'll drown you quick. You understand? I could just hope to be a fisherman of men. You understand? Hopefully I don't have to go too far off the coast in order to get the men. You understand? And I don't have to go down with the goddamn ship, messing around trying to save Israel. You understand? Trying to be a fisherman of men. You understand? I'm just fishing around the shore. Hopefully all the fish is smart enough not to go out there in the deep where the goddamn sea monsters is at. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 25. For he commandeth and raiseth the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves thereof. Keep going.
Keep going.
Verse 26. They mount up to the heaven. They go.
Waves as high as the heavens. Good God. He done lifted up the waves from with the stormy wind that mount up to heaven. My goodness. That, you know, the language in these scriptures is so accurate and vivid. You understand? You can actually see it. Keep going.
Psalms 107 and 26. They mount up to the heaven. They go down again to the depths.
Crashing wave. Wow. Boom. Keep going.
Their soul is melted because of trouble.
You understand? But your soul is going to be melted because of the trouble. You understand? That you see. And dealing with these things that you seeing out here that only the Lord can do. Keep going.
Verse 27. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man and are at their wits' end.
You understand? That's what would happen after your whole island, you understand, has been ran over top of by those winds and waves and storms that the Lord sent. Keep going.
Verse 28. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble.
You understand? We famous. We always crying unto the Lord in our trouble. Read on.
And he bringeth them out of their distresses.
You understand? That's what I would recommend. You understand? Don't stop hollering until you can be heard of the Lord. He sent the men of the Lord, you understand, to your rescue. You understand? A piece of bread and some water from the white man is not going to stay the storm. You understand? You dealing with something else that's famishing you and making you sick all the time. You understand? It's the lack of the word of the Lord. You got a famine of the word of the Lord that you're dealing with down there. You understand? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You understand? Keep going. Or you got a question, okay?
I got a comment, sir.
Okay.
You know, of all these things that the Most High is doing, you know, they're taking their funds and giving it to certain people in certain places in the city, but not where it actually happened. That's why the scriptures say they will lend to you, but you will not lend back to them. They given all these things just for appearances, but it's not really helping nobody. It's just for show. Because when it really comes down to the problem at hand, they ain't giving no help. They basically saying, forget these people. They not ours. That's how Esau thinks.
2 Corinthians 6:1. Let's try that.
Couldn't one come, sir. Couldn't come.
This is how we have to operate. Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6:1. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of Yahweh in vain.
Receive the grace of the Most High in vain. You understand? Don't not change. You understand? Because you got grace now. Don't not change. You better change. You got grace. You understand? Use the grace time to change. Fix it. Fix yourself. You understand? Fix your people. Read on.
2 Corinthians 6:2. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted.
For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted. Read on.
And in the day of salvation have I secured thee.
He will help you in the day of salvation. He will secure you. Make you secure. Read on.
Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation.
What you waiting on, Israel? You understand? What you waiting on? You understand? I know you ain't waiting for the white man to come down there with his boats, his rescue boats, and his Red Cross and all that old carriage on. You understand? That's going to only be for a time. You're going to need way more than that. And I don't think he's able to provide you what you need. Question or comment?
Comment. And that's the strange thing, sir. We haven't had, there's nothing said about the Red Cross going there as of yet.
I'm sure that they're going to keep the heat from off of them, so they are acting like they are operating or what have you. You understand? But I'm not sure if it's to the benefit of the people that's down there on the ground. You understand? Will they end up in camps? You understand? On the border, when they try to flee, the sister was screaming, "Listen, just get us off the island. Where you gonna go? You going to America? They ain't letting you up here. You're gonna be in there with your brothers, the Mexicans, or what have you. You understand? Now you're gonna understand. Now we're gonna understand. You understand? We're gonna understand it in a minute. He would have been housing us. He was waiting. Nobody was saying anything if it would have hit Florida or Georgia or South Carolina or North Carolina. If it would have hit that real hard, where you was gonna end up in one of them detention centers that he got with your Mexican brother or sister in there. That's all that was gonna happen. You understand? You was gonna be right there laying on the floor with a goddamn silver blanket over you too. You understand? That's it. That's all he got for you. So in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Come on.
Behold, now is the day of salvation.
Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6:3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
You understand? You give no offense in anything. What the scripture say? No appearance of evil. No appearance of evil. Giving no offense in anything. That's how we operate in Isupk. Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6:4. But in all things,
Go back to the middle of 3.
Salaki, kind of one concern. 2 Corinthians 6:3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
You understand? That the ministry be not blamed. You understand? Be circumspect. Walk circumspect out here. You understand? Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6:4. But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh.
That's how we're supposed to operate, approving ourselves. You understand? Proving all things, approving ourselves as the servants of the Most High. Read on.
And much patience.
And what?
And much patience.
And much patience. You understand? We can't lose patience with Israel, though they be hard-headed and stiff-necked and want to kill us as they have killed the prophets in times past. Keep going.
And afflictions.
And afflictions. Okay? We afflicted much in this work. You understand?
And necessities.
In necessities, in need, in one of all things. You understand? Just like you. You in one of all things from your enemies, the so-called white man as well. You understand? Read on.
And distresses.
And distresses. We distressed in our houses, in our streets. You understand? We don't have no succor or help. You understand? Besides the Most High. Read.
And stripes.
And stripes. Yeah, and stripes. Stripes, not stripes. You understand? We don't want to be fighting one another, but in stripes. You understand? The white man is Slovakia. This is his house. You understand? He's going to give me a stripe if I don't call him the oppressor. You understand?
Cool.
I can't call him what he is. All right? Keep going.
Kind of one kind. And imprisonments.
And imprisonment. You're going to throw us in jail. You understand? The ministry don't stop when you go to jail. You understand? Keep going.
And tumults.
And tumults. Tumults. Great upheavals and riots in cities. All kinds of stuff going to happen. Keep going.
And laborers.
And laborers. You understand? You're going to have to dig ditches. Bust rocks. You understand? Do husbandry. Go back to the farm. You understand? We're going to have to send a team back to the farm. How are we going to eat? We do have this piece of land. You know what I'm saying? Who is volunteering to go down there and do this husbandry? The land got to be tilled and planted. You understand? These animals got to be fed, cared for. You understand? Slaughtered, transported, you name it. You understand? That's how we're going to eat. Keep going.
And watchings.
And watching. Watching for the second coming of Yahweh first and foremost, and never trusting our enemy second. You understand? And watching. And watching for one another. You understand? Watching for one another so that we take care of one another. Keep going.
And fastings.
And fastings. Right? The Day of Atonement. October the 7th. Monday, October the 7th. Oh, that would be my night. You understand? We're going to get it in. No food, no water, no nothing. Lord allow, I'll be in the house. October the 7th? Yeah, I'm going to be right up in here, spanking. You understand? Start myself fresh and new. You understand? I'm going to take some time off. Take some time off from eating and drinking. You understand? Trying to get myself together. It's getting ready to be a season of cold. You understand? It's going to be cold. You got to have that body right. You understand? You got to have that body right. If you've been packing the pounds away all summer, you ain't done no cleaning up or what have you, do a cleanup. Start with the Day of Atonement. You understand? Start with the Day of Atonement. Those first time Israelites that got to do the Day of Atonement. You're going to eat good on Memorial blowing the trumpets on September the 28th, but 10 days later, you're going to be repenting and atoning for your sins before the Lord. You understand? All right. Keep going.
Verse 2 Corinthians 6:6. By pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfeigned,
by pureness. You understand? Not being corrupt like this world. You understand? You're going to stay away from all corruptness. You're going to have the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the Most High. And that's going to be the stability of your time. By long suffering with your brother. You understand? By long suffering with your brother. You understand? In that day when their offenses must come. You understand? You're going to stand approved. You understand? And you're going to help him that has fallen. You understand? He has fallen, but he's going to get back up. Because you're going to remember that you did fail before too. You understand? You're going to remember that. And you're going to work with him and be long suffering in his affliction. You understand? His or her affliction or what have you. You're going to work with them. You understand? If you ain't going to forgive nobody, then how the hell is the Lord going to forgive you? Okay? Keep going.
First, 2 Corinthians 6 and 7. By the word of truth.
By the word of truth. You understand? If you speak not the truth, you understand? I don't see how you're going to survive. You're not going to survive with lies. Okay? Any more?
Come on. By the power of Yahweh.
By the power of the Most High. Read.
By the armor of righteousness.
By the armor of righteousness. Put on the full armor of the Lord. You understand? Put on the full armor. You understand? You're going to have to be girded up in this truth in these last days of time. I want all speakings to improve, all class teachings, all departments that you are holding. You understand? All relationships in the household between the women and the men, and also between the children. I want them to become solid. I want them to become solid as a rock. You understand? Put on the whole armor of righteousness. Everybody should know they goddamn place, and they do. Right? Keep going.
On the right hand and on the left.
Everywhere you go. You understand? I want to see Israel operating with impunity. You understand? With swift intent. You understand? Woke. Not sleep. You understand? These are the last days. Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6 and 8. By honor and dishonor.
By honor and dishonor. Read on.
By evil report and good report.
Keep going.
As deceivers and yet true.
Keep going.
Verse 9. As unknown and yet well known.
Ooh, boy, you see how Hebrew operates. Hebrew is on another goddamn level. I don't know what you're doing out here in these streets, you Christians or what have you. Your evil is always being found out, you understand? And you are always in something you ain't got no business doing, you understand? And we're going to shine every time they always try to raise a false report. You understand? They try to raise a false report. They try to claim that we lying, you understand? But they are going to be the ones that's found unfaithful to the Lord. Read on.
As dying, and behold, we live as chastened and not killed.
You understand? We're going to live. You understand? It'll appear that we dead and dying or what have you, but there's a little life left up in here. Okay? We're going to come out of it. We're going to come up out of the sleep that we in. We're going to put sinews back on this body or what have you. I'm sure the Hebrews is dead. You understand? I'm sure that Israel can't rise, that they just dead bones at this point in time. You understand? But we're going to show them. Not killed. We live. Okay? Read on.
2 Corinthians 6 and 10. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing.
As sorrowful, yet always rejoice. You understand? You see something bad happen to one of your brothers or sisters, you understand? You sorrow with them. You understand? And then when it's time to rejoice, let's rejoice. But it's going to be unto the Lord, and it's going to be about the victory that's had in Israel. You understand? New school, Tennessee, you understand? We get ready to dedicate that new school in California. You understand, out there in Cali, with the memorial blowing the trumpets. We'll be there September the 26th, starting with scripture breakdown class on Thursday as per usual. You understand, with General Hyman. It's going down, baby. You understand? Get your bucks up. You understand? I'm tired of going everywhere. I want to see some new faces saying, look, we're going to take this time. We're going to hit all these spots for you. You sit at home and mill around a while. You understand? Get these houses together around here. You understand? So we're going to do it. Always rejoice. Read on.
Always rejoicing.
Oh, no, okay. Yeah, we're going to rejoice. Right. Keep going.
As poor, yet making many rich.
My goodness. You know what I'm saying? That's the power of the Most High right there. You know, poor and struggling. You understand? Lack of cash, lack of resources, but making many rich. You understand? And I ain't talking about making the oppressor rich. You understand? I'm talking about making each other rich with safety, with health, with, you understand, kind words. You understand? With kind acts. You understand? Unfeigned love for your brother. You understand? Taking care of the poor, the sick, the widow, and the fatherless. You understand? That's what we got to be found doing. That's how you make many rich. You understand? Get a goddamn business and we'll make you rich if you got something that's worth selling. You understand? You can't open up a soul food shop, you understand, and think that you're going to carry the pig feet. You understand? We can't make you rich in that day. Okay? As having nothing. I had to read that. The next, as having nothing. Making many rich as having nothing. Making something out of nothing. You understand? All you have to do is get with your brother. And yet possessing all things. You understand? Like, who been in the UPK and can say that they lack it? You understand? When they first get in here, you might be struggling like a big dog or what have you. Or you in here and things happen. You understand? But where you got somewhere to turn to when you get in here or when you've been in here and something go wrong or what have you. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody to be with you and help you. You're going to possess all things. You need a bed, you're going to get a bed. You need a roof over your head, you're going to have a roof over your head. You understand? But just be in the spirit. That's what you do. Be in the spirit of giving. You understand? Instead of always trying to receive. You understand? When you in that spirit, you understand, it's better to give than to receive at that point in time. You understand? You make it many rich. Make it many rich. You understand?
854, sir.
Keep going.
Cut him one cut, sir. 2 Corinthians 6 and 11. O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you. Our heart is enlarged.
You understand? O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you. I get calls all day, I ain't getting enough female attention calls and what have you. You understand? But I'm getting they gonna work me to death. You understand? I'm trying to catch some calls about somebody trying to help a priest. You understand? You understand? We get my mouth is open 24/7, 365, or what have you. Open to you. You understand? Our heart is enlarged. Our mind is enlarged in trying to help you fix your problems. That's how we got to operate. Keep going.
2 Corinthians 6 and 12.
Ye are not straightened in us, but ye are straightened in your own bowels.
That's it. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Now for a recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children. Be ye also enlarged.
Be you enlarged, or what have you. You got your homicide saying greater works shall you do. You understand? You see these old grumpy men trying to get along and make these things, these operations, and these things work. You young men, put your daggone hand to the plow and don't never let go. You understand? Don't never forsake the truth. Keep going.
Verse 14. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
It's time to put away certain people. Stop making decisions, rash decisions, or what have you, and study who your friend is and who ain't your friend. You understand? It be some that creep in here unawares as well. You understand? Don't get caught out there or what have you. Study before you decide to make a life changing decision or what have you. You understand? You're gonna operate and catch you be in a world of hurt because you didn't get counsel. You understand? You didn't go ask at the mouth of the Lord. You got to do that. You got to do that, or it's gonna be a problem. Or you're gonna be yoked up with some fool. You understand? Male or female. You understand? Whatever. You understand? Whatever the case, rich or poor. You understand? You can have a rich fool or a poor fool. It's going to happen to you, but you're going to have to suffer it because if you ain't being certain, you got to be a better judge of character. You understand? About what's going on out here with these people or what have you. Who you should align yourself with. Keep going.
For what fellowship has Salakia? For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
Right. Keep going.
And what communion hath light with darkness?
You understand? You shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, in that situation where you can't stay focused because you understand somebody trying to drown out your light. You understand? Or constantly casting darkness in your direction. Read on.
Verse 15. 2 Corinthians 6 and 15. And what concord, Salakia, and what concord have Yahushua
What business has Christ with what?
with Belial?
I was above with the devil. Go ahead.
Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?
You understand? We don't want to be bothered with the infidelity of these nations out here. You understand? We want to come together, you understand, and wake up Israel. You understand? That's what we want to do. Stay focused. Read on.
Verse 16. 2 Corinthians 6 and 16. And what agreement hath the temple of Yahweh with idols?
We in idolatry too much. You understand? In these damn false religions or what have you. Okay? Read on.
For ye are the temple of the living power.
You understand? For you are the temple of the living power. You understand? You the temple of the living power. You understand? What's in you and what's coming out of you, the spirit of Yahweh Mashiach, you understand, is the temple. You understand? It's the temple that's not built with hands. That's what it is. Okay? They claim that they church is the house of God. They church is the house of God, like in Jeremiah 7 and 4. But you understand, your works, you understand, it's going to speak volumes. Go ahead.
As Yahweh hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Read on.
Verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate.
That's in the New Testament. They swear Yahweh shall coming for everybody. And then we should all join together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. You understand, with the rainbow over top of us. Whatever. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Keep going.
Verse 18. And will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the class. And we're going to bring up Priest and Officer Gabar Adah to give you the announcements. All right? So turn that over there for yourself first. Turn it this way. There you go. Not that far. There you go. Come and get right up in front of the camera with the announcements.
These are the security announcements. These are the security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother and sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. This is the 6-month to 1 year rule. There is no breaking it or will be encountered. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10th in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up Holy Convocation, which is September the 28th. The memorial blowing of the trumpets. And check, it says, remind Aqua to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for Isupk events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. Now we are going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atah,
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atah.
Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.